just want to go over a few housekeeping notes before we begin here. I've gotten a lot of emails about completion certs. I know NGB was having a bunch of technical issues with the yellow ribbon.mil. So we are going to push the completion date to next Friday, the 15th, to have certs turned in. To get those certs, you cannot just click through everything. You actually have to do the course and answer all the questions and everything. And you must complete the course eval to get the cert. Other than that, does anyone have any questions about that process? All right, in about 2 minutes, we'll get started. Just give everyone another minute or two to get logged in.
Hi, this is Kim with IBHS. Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start with that quick IBHS briefing, Nick, and then we'll get into those other slides and I'll let you know.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Okay, so IBHS is the Integrated Behavioral Health System. For those of you that don't know, we have a very important 855 number that we have all of our service members as well as their family members put into their cell phones. We are a 24/7, 365-day a year phone number that you can call into, and a live agent takes your call, takes your information, and then passes it on to us as the clinicians. I am the clinician that is stationed at Joint Force Headquarters in Raleigh. We have 4 other clinicians on the team based throughout the state of North Carolina, as well as 3 wellness advocates that assist service members and their family members with non-clinical resources, meaning non-therapy based things such as housing, food, financial assistance, child care, educational assistance, as well as VA or employment, as well as insurance. So again, it's a very important 855 number to put in your phone. I don't know if you want me to say it out loud, Nick, or how you want to do it, but it is on the end of my slideshow that I'm presenting today. So please use us. This is a free service. You're not being charged anything. And we either take you in for our own program, which is 10 to 12 sessions, or like I mentioned, that assistance through wellness advocacy, or we refer you out to the community. So please keep us in mind as a source to assist you if need be. We are a little bit different than the G1 Medical, which looks at readiness for service members. We focus more on the wellness aspect of it. So we do crisis management and trauma work, and we work with all the different agencies within the Guard. So family programs and JAG and the chaplains and the suicide prevention program and substance use program, employment center, education services. So we have a reciprocal relationship with all those programs to assist those in need. So that was just a quick briefing on who we are and what we are. And now I'm gonna, excuse me, specifically be talking about the 5 warning signs of mental health risk. In other words, when someone should seek counseling, either for yourself or for a loved one. All right, you can change the slide, Nick. It should say getting to know the problem. Are you good?
Yep, all set.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I can't see it. All right, so what we know is in 2020, 21% of the US adult population was experiencing mental health struggles or issues. That basically boils down to 59 or 52.9 million adults. Also, what we know is that in 2020, 1 in 20, or 5.6% of the US adult population was experiencing a serious mental health illness. So when we say serious mental health, that can involve individuals that are struggling specifically with severe depression, severe anxiety, bipolar disorder, sometimes it's schizophrenia, things that are severely, severely debilitating. In 2018, looking more at the youth population, there were 16.5% ages 6 through 17 that were experiencing a mental health disorder, or 7.7 million youth were experiencing that in 2018. And as we know, that was, a good 5 years ago. These numbers have increased dramatically. Excuse me. In 2020, 6.7% of the US experienced a co-occurring disorder and a mental health issue. That boiled down to 17 million people. So what that means is co-occurring is when you have a mental health disorder and then you are trying to cope with it by using a substance, whether that be drugs or alcohol. So as I mentioned, 17 million people were in that category in 2020. And lastly, in 2020, suicide was among the top 9 leading causes of death for people ages 10 to 64. And suicide was the second leading cause of death for individuals 10 to 14, as well as the age group of 25 to 34. And a big statistic that you may or may not see on posters is that there's 1 death in every 11 minutes. And again, this is from 2020. So we know that almost, over 3 years ago now, this information has increased. So overall with this, the goal is to prevent crises, to prevent mental health struggles continuing on for individuals and them not having the appropriate services or resources available to them at hand. You can go ahead and change, Nick. So talking about the 5 key signs. Okay, thank you. The 5 key signs that we look for that someone may or may not be showing when they are in need of help. So the first one is a change in personality. And what that means is the individual may become avoidant. They may become extremely fatigued. They may be less social. You will notice that they're not themselves. Maybe somebody used to be bubbly and very outgoing, and now they're just kind of keeping to themselves. They're not really talking. They're saying that they're just overly tired all the time. So that is one key sign. The second one is uncharacteristic anxiety, anger, or moodiness. In other words, this means irritability, short temper, high anxiety that's triggered by specific sounds or activities. So if you have an individual that went through a traumatic event and something triggers them, they may be startled easily, or don't like individuals coming from behind them, maybe they suffered a sexual assault, then this is going to be highly, highly triggered and increased for them. They may be short with their kids. They might have extreme emotional highs followed by lows. So more of that characteristics of bipolar disorder, where everything's great, and then, the opposite, you don't want to do anything, and your motivation is very low. Anger or hostility that seems out of character or out of context. So if you yourself or, a family member, and you're like, wow, they're really not acting like they normally do, something's really upsetting them, and this is extreme, again, that can be another sign. Social withdrawal and isolation. This could mean that the person is too tired to be around other people. They're too tired to be part of events. Or specific people, places, and things they are avoiding. They are completely isolating and shutting down from the rest of the world, whether it's their workplace, their personal life, those aspects of it are extremely changing. Lack of self-care or risky behaviors. So this could include substance use, heavy alcohol use, or drug use. You could be becoming a reckless driver, speeding, that is a risky behavior, road rage. You give up on things that you used to enjoy, hobbies, activities. If you used to like to exercise, or you used to like to, go on hikes, or, just be outside, anything that you consider to be important to you, you just lose interest in, lose that motivation and drive to participate. Changes in sleep is another huge aspect of this sign. You are either not sleeping at all, or you're waking up multiple times. You can't fall asleep. Interrupted sleep. So that is the fourth sign. And the last one is a sense of hopelessness or feeling overwhelmed. So this can come from direct verbal cues that individuals might say. Hopelessness is an extreme point of you've pretty much given up. So you might say things such as, I wish I were dead. I'm going to take my own life. I'm going to end it all. If this is my fault. If I wasn't here, then, everybody would be okay. Nobody cares if I'm dead. I just want out. I don't want to be around much longer. Pretty soon you won't have to worry about me. If individuals are saying this, or if, you're having these thoughts, then that is a big, big warning sign, red flag. So please get help at that point. Any questions about any of those key signs? Okay, so the last slide, you can change it, Nick, should say getting help. And this, again, as I mentioned, this is our 855 number, IDHS. And as I mentioned a little while ago, it's confidential, it's free. All of our clinicians, all of our wellness advocates, our entire team, we are credentialed, we're licensed, we are evidence-based through our work. So please take note of that phone number, as I mentioned. Put it in your cell phone, write it down, get it out there, because it is a very important number for you as a service member and or your family member. And if it's better for you to receive assistance through the community, then that's what we do, because we're based, like I mentioned, all over the state. So we're in Wilmington, we're in Fayetteville, we're in Asheville, we're in High Point, Raleigh. Our Charlotte position is currently looking to be filled. So we will assess you and then be able to assist you in the best way possible. Any questions overall for me? Can you hear me, Nick? Is everybody still?
Yep, we hear you.
Okay.
Yep, we hear you.
All right. Hopefully that was helpful information. And again, if you have any, further questions, or if you need assistance or direction, please reach out to us. And I thank you.
Yep, thank you. And we'll hang on here for the next
Okay.
like 10 or so minutes if anyone has any
Okay.
last minute questions for you that they don't want to say in front of the group. Other than that, I'm just going to recap on some of the housekeeping notes from this morning. In order to get your completion certs, if you have not gotten them already, you actually have to do the classes. You can't just click next through everything. You have to actually be engaged in the learning. Because there was technical issues at the NGB level with YellowRibbon.mil, we did change the date of the certs to Friday the 15th, so this upcoming Friday. And to get the cert, you also must do the course eval. Other than that, I think that's all we have for this Yellow Ribbon. If anyone has any questions, or if they want us to send them the slides or any other information, we can certainly do that and send it out to your units. But we'll hang on for a few minutes if anyone has any questions. If not, have a good Sunday, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good Sunday.